So let's talk about frustrations. Let's talk about the terrible ways that youth
Hmm.
pastors can handle frustrations. How would you describe early on how you handled your frustrations?
What are you talking about? What frustrations? I
How
have never had it. I love
okay,
every
you know,
aspect.
this is going out into the World Wide Web. You know that people will fact check everything. So I'm going to ask you again for the record.
Yeah.
For the record, sir, how did you? What were some of the bad ways that you say these were probably not great ways to handle my frustration? And you would advise other youth pastors right now and saying, I'm pretty sure these are not effective in handling your youth ministry or ministry frustrations.
Right. So for the record, yes, there has been frustrations.
Oh, now the
I
truth comes
know
out.
now the truth. But there has been moments of disagreements. You're human. You're going to have them.
That's right.
And here's the thing that you've got to realize: if you're a youth pastor and you're listening to this, whether this is your first episode or you've listened to every single episode, like I
Which I
have,
recommend.
yeah, right, I do too. Humble brag, I have too. But I just think that you have to make sure that you have a group of people in your life
Yeah.
that you can go to. Call them your whining group. Call them your boohoo group. Call them your I'm mad and here's why and kind of deal. And I'm just going to be upset about it because of this. And this is my case.
Yeah. And
You've got to
choose them wisely.
Yes, yes, choose them wisely. In fact, I would go as far as to say they probably should not be members of your church.
It's a good call.
Um,
It's a good
I,
call.
they shouldn't be. So handling those frustrations is going to be key, though. But I think one thing that a lot of youth pastors, and you taught me this as well through one of our coaching sessions, is you've got to decide why you are really upset.
Yeah.
Okay, am I upset because somebody poo pooed all over my idea?
Mm,
Or am I like, is there pride? Is there ego involved? Because if there is, pride and ego cannot fit in the ministry.
no, not
That
really.
is not something that God would do. So I don't recommend having so much pride that you get your feelings hurt because somebody else does not think it is a great idea. So
Yeah.
have those people that you can go to, check your ego and decide, why am I really truly upset? What, in other
Yeah.
words, this one thing I like to tell a lot of people that I talk to is, what is the root cause of your frustration?
Yeah.
So one of the things that I learned early on was I was an intern and I had a youth pastor. His name was Brian Jones. Shout out to him.
Shout out,
He is
Brian.
right. He is a youth pastor, or I'm sorry, a senior pastor now out in Sylacauga, and he honestly kind of laid the framework for me and gave me, I guess, the bones, so to speak, of youth ministry. And I remember one time I was asked to plan a trip. It was going to be like a little weekend deal. I was asked to plan it, and I'm in there like I hadn't even started seminary yet, and I'm beyond ecstatic about it. I've got my notebook. I've got me a big old board up on the wall in my office that had a folding table and a folding chair.
Yeah.
Because look, God can work in those just as well as He can.
Yeah.
Big fancy offices, okay,
That's right.
and I had this huge board, laid out all this groundwork to the nth degree, had all of these great ideas, had talked to people about coming to speak, coming to do worship. I'm pumped. I go to present it to the senior pastor at the time. I gave it to the youth pastor, Brian, and he was like, "Man, I love it. Let's take it." And we take it to the senior pastor. Senior pastor doesn't even give it a thought.
No.
he just like unloaded an entire dump truck of
Yes.
manure all over it,
He was thinking
all
about
over.
he was thinking about golf that day.
Right.
Your idea was not even on his list of to-dos to look at.
Right. And I remember leaving that meeting and I was so
Uh,
mad. I
yeah.
was furious. And I remember leaving, and Brian actually asked me, he said, "Devin, are you mad because it was something that you planned? Or are you mad because what if this is not something that God wanted to do for this particular ministry?"
Yeah.
So what was the root cause? Well, the root cause was I was mad because I had planned it.
Yep.
Because fast forward that particular weekend, tornadoes came ripping through the area.
Yeah.
So had we gone, it could have been an absolute even worse disaster.
That's
So
right.
so that no right then checked my ego.
That's right.
And I had to realize that the root cause was because it was something I had planned. Get your ego out of the way.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is with ministry and dealing with frustrations, one thing I would recommend, we've talked about what I wouldn't. Let me give you one that I would recommend.
Yeah.
You've got to be flexible.
Yeah.
You've got to be flexible. It's not going to be, if you lay out this incredible, amazing evening and it does, and two students show up, you know what? What if you say, scrub this for a week? We're going to go to Sonic and we're going to go get milkshakes and we're going to talk about whatever. And I'm going to dive into you for the next 2 hours of the evening
Yeah.
over an overpriced milkshake
Yeah.
because I care about you. Check your ego at the door and realize it's about the students, not you.